it's been quite a while. I haven't updated this channel, but I just thought I'd stop by to let you guys know that I am still alive and modding. If you follow me on the forums, I'm sure you notice I've been fairly busy, been creating lots of stuff. And in fact, right now we are in Minecraft 1.8 with NeoTech, the mod that me and Dionovan have been working on to bring sort of a tech mod to 1.8, because there doesn't seem to be one at the moment. Now, I've gotten kind of sidetracked and done some other things, but we do have a working tech mod. Here's a furnace generator, electric crusher, that sort of thing, you know, crushing ores into 2 dust. That's all good. We've got a tank here, holds fluids, you know, just sort of showing that it can be done in 1.8. You don't have to have model files. None of these blocks, not this one, not the machines, you know, they've got the 4 states based on how you place them. The tank, you know, even the item itself renders the fluid at the level it was. None of this uses any JSON files. This is all done through Java code, kind of like it used to be done in the past. So, you know, you get things like this, so you can climb up the wall, and, you know, I've gotten a little distracted doing connected textures here. Got some stone bricks, some glass, you know, here. There's all sorts of stuff we've been working on. You know, I can just sort of open this up and show you. We've got an upgrade system with these sort of motherboard type deal with RAM, fans, network cards for auto output. You know, we add in tin and copper that hasn't been done yet. Got some item pipes, energy cables, all sorts of stuff going on here. Some batteries. We've got a lot of work going into this mod, and so just thought I'd stop by and show you some of the stuff. And this tab is essentially me getting sidetracked with the new rendering system, because I'm trying to show that it is possible to in fact do even complicated things like connected textures without the need of any JSON model files. So that's essentially what I've been up to. I've been working on this. I've been doing a little bit of work on realistic pane. It's all client side now. You don't have to have it on the server. There's been a couple of issues that have come up with that, but the basic part, you know, rendering the blood on the screen works just like you would expect it to. The dust explosions are gone for the moment. Just a couple little things like that, but I'm working on it. I'll get it figured out. What else have I done? Where Are You? The mod that, you know, lets people know your location in the world. That is getting an update soon, so that if you send your location to somebody and they don't have the mod installed, it'll just say in chat, like, this is my location, and they don't have to have the mod installed. It'll just give them a chat message. If they do have the mod installed, it'll create the beacon just like it does currently, but that way, you know, you can jump on a server, have it installed on the client side, and then now you can share your location with the press of a button. So if someone says, what's your coordinate, you can just press, I don't know, comma or something, and then into the chat it'll say, my location is XYZ, and you're good to go. So that update will be coming soon. I'm working on it right now. I've pretty much got it squared away, but I've been a little busy with other stuff, so it's been a little difficult to get a mod release out. Modular systems, I need to give that one a little bit of work. It's not where I want it to be, obviously. There's a few things I need to do. One, pertaining to the config system. I want to redo that a bit. It's a little complicated at the moment, and I can't even try to explain how it works at the moment, because honestly, I'm not super certain myself. I did it a long time ago, and I was working with another modder, and we sort of created it and then forgot about it because we never documented anything. So a note to self, if you're ever creating something, be sure to document it. You know, it was a busy time. It was right around Christmas, so we all got kind of busy and lost connection, that sort of thing. So that's all right. You know, I'll go back in and I'll work on it. I've got some ideas on how to make it simpler and a little more flexible. Thanks to Dionovan, we have an RF and an EU block that will accept RF energy and Industrial Craft's energy system to power the furnace, so you don't have to use just solid or liquid fuels. That'll be coming sometime in the future. I have to figure out how I'm going to make it so that you don't have to have Industrial Craft or any of that installed. I'll get to that. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I'm bouncing between 3 or 4 different mods at the moment, with this one being at the forefront because we need to polish it out. It's the first tech mod in 1.8, and while we've got like generators, flue generators, crushers, a miner, which I think is actually done now. There's just some final testing we're going into it. That will probably be in the next release. This, which creates the motherboards that upgrade all of these machines. We've got storage here. The dual crafter is something I made. I showed it inadvertently earlier. 2 crafting tables. Let me get some stone and we'll test it out here. It'll hold its inventory. So if you craft this here, then you say run over here and come back. It's still got this. You can stick this over here if you wanted to craft another thing. It's essentially what you would expect. 2 crafting tables that retain inventory. You break it, you'll still get your items back, so don't worry about that. There's tanks. You can fill them up, break them, and walk around with them. The energy storage units do the exact same thing. When you break them, they retain their levels. We're implementing in copper, tin, all sorts of fun stuff. And this, I'm not done with it yet. It's kind of like the Open Mods elevator. Probably won't be in the next update. Probably won't be in for a while if I even decide to keep it, but just something I've been toying around with, just to have a little bit of extra fun. So you can see here when I jump up on it, it takes me way up here, and it's not taking me back down for some reason. So you can see it's still a little bit buggy. Other than that, not too much going on. Been really busy. Haven't coded in about a week now. I've had, if you're in university, you understand it's coming up on finals week. Everything's starting to wrap up, so you get a little bit busy this time of year. So I've been a little busy with that. I'm working on getting a job with a tech company at the moment, so hopefully that'll all work out. There's a lot of stuff I got going on, and the things that I want to work on are taking kind of a back seat at the moment while I do these real life things. You got to pay the rent somehow. The one thing that I've been thinking about the last week, and I've been deciding how I'm going to implement it, is I'm going to do away with these cables and do a new transfer system. Essentially, there's going to be nodes that you stick for output and input. So you'd put on a generator, a disperser, and then on the receiver, condenser, and it will send it through the area. There's not going to be a cable transfer. It'll hit prisms as sort of a in-between for the two, or you can send them directly to each other. But, I thought it'd be a little more of an interesting idea. We are the first tech mod into 1.8, so we don't want to have people accusing us of, copying, even though all of our stuff's been written by hand. Some of our concepts are going to be very familiar to mods that were in 1.7. That's just because they're things that we liked, things that we really wanted in 1.8, but the mod authors themselves decided, we're not going to update. Like this, for example. Very similar to the ethereal glass from not open, extra utilities. So, you can walk through it or you can shift to stop. We didn't copy them. We didn't look at their code. This is all written by hand from us. Some of the concepts are fairly similar. Like this is, in fact, very similar. But they're not updating to 1.8, and these are features that we really miss. If they do update to 1.8, we can take these out. That's not a problem. We're not trying to steal that concept away from the other mods. And even that, we've done a few differences. So they are similar, yes. That's what I'm trying to say here. They're very similar in that sort of sense, but I think you'll find that a lot of our things are a little bit different in ways that we would like to implement them. So, with all this being said, I've sort of rambled on here a bit. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get these new things out. I've updated my Patreon, so if you want to see some of the new goals with the busy schedule I have at the moment, I figured, if people want to support me, they want to give some help through Patreon, then that'll help give me the motivation to come back and to work on some of these things that I've been neglecting. So, modular systems, I think that's the first goal. If that's met, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to polish it off, I'm going to give it some of the ideas I have, some of these tweaks to make it a little bit better and a little more friendly. I've had some feedback on the forums, so I've been watching that, and I'll add those things in if I can get this opportunity. And then, higher up we get into bringing back mob tools. If you've watched some of the videos on my channel in the past, you'll see that I've been working on a mod called Mob Tools. It's in 1.7, but I lost the code to it, and some of the features that I had been working on are now gone. So I would have to go back and reevaluate how I would do that, and that's fine. I'd be fine with doing that. I would want to do that, and I've got, at least Donovan who wants to help me out with that. So that would be great. I would love to go back and do that. And then, a higher up goal is bringing modular systems to 1.8. I would love to do that. I want to keep this mod on the forefront. If you followed me in 1.7, I was one of the first mods out there. I think Wayla being the only one to beat me. So I pushed really hard to have that updated. There were a lot of changes, and I haven't been able to do that yet with this update because it is such a large update. But with that sort of support, I would be able to go in and sort of rewrite what I've been working on, and essentially I'd have to rewrite a good portion of the mod, if not all of it, which is unfortunate, but it's gotten to the point where it almost needs that. Every developer hits a point when their code gets so complicated and out of control that they just sort of want to start over with a sort of clean plate. And I'm getting to that point. And 1.8 would be a great way to reevaluate it, especially with some of the new additions that have been made in this version of Minecraft. It's not as bad as people are saying, really. It's totally doable. In fact, I've been in it this whole time. It hasn't been laggy, and it's going to be a little laggy because I'm recording, obviously, but hasn't been laggy. We've got these connected textures sitting all over the place. Hasn't hurt FPS. We've been hovering at a steady 120 this whole time, and it's totally doable. We've been doing it for almost a month now. We've been developing in it, and we're doing complicated things like this tank that renders whatever fluids in it. Like if I pull up some lava, you can see it will render the fluid that you put into it. No model files, none of that stuff. It's totally doable, and I would encourage other mod authors to take a look into it, and even contact me, if you want a little bit of help to see how I did it. We always have the GitHub open. If you want to see some of our implementations, it's totally fine. Other than that, just keep up with what I'm doing. On the forums, I try to update there as much as possible. That's usually the place that I go through. All my stuff's on Curse, so especially if you're using the new launcher, you'll see updates as they come out. If it's in a pack or anything, or you create your own custom pack, which is kind of cool, I like that. And, just hopefully we'll have some cool stuff in the future. I know I always end off by saying that, but, we've done some cool stuff since the last video. So, just subscribe here if you want to see videos. I'll try to upload them a little more frequently. I'm not very good at them, obviously. If you're still watching, you can tell that I ramble on quite a bit. But, I'm not a video maker. I'm a mod maker. So, if you want to hear it straight from the source, this is your place to go. Other than that, I've got a Twitter, the forums, obviously. I mentioned that a couple times. These are all places where you can keep up to date with what I've been doing. And hopefully, we'll see some really cool stuff soon. Summer's coming up. I'm going to have a little bit extra free time. I'll still be working, but, I still have less time to stress about finals and all of that fun stuff. So we should be seeing some really cool stuff in the future. And especially if anybody goes over to my Patreon and gives me a little support there, we'll definitely see some more stuff soon. Other than that, thanks for sticking with me through this ramble. There'll probably be more. So if you like that, good. There's going to be more rambles. If not, sorry. I'm not a video maker, so tough luck.